and an evacuation by Sen. They don't want anything to do with the C site.
Where are they going though? Because Kang waiting here on B gets caught!
No way, Sheriff in his hands. He felt like he was almost good for the one, but with him dropped, EDG gearing up for a bit of an attempt through this one, just biding their time, waiting in the smoke, and they hear the rumble of the footsteps. Nobody is going to be tested. A lot to overcome into this spot with the movement. Clean up and over, but here comes the pincer. Crunch from behind, EDG. Leaving no stone unturned. They cleared away mostly through, and Sassy's now the one who has to hold down the line.
tenz got stuck on that pivot. Sassy sees them, stunned.
It's a pixel angle that he's working with here, but the damage is being dished out. Sentinels left scrappy, and it's down to Zelsis trying to tap with the ghost. Not enough to cool down the weapon in his hand. Simon, the rookie, steps up. No easy openings, 25 seconds left. Jump spots. Smoggy sees it, catching it. A lot of information gathered. Fault line is good though. Just concatenates on top, and Simon just trying to play this tight angle. Blinded up from the side, still lands that shot. Traded though, plant down for gen.g, never to push this one back.
Ridiculously good supportive utility there from Zelsis and tenz.
Nobody's going to be praying. Somebody opens up wide, but up onto the heaven angle. Zelsis, who's claiming that one, dropped down. Double digits of health, but it's only Chichu left with the Bulldog. They're here to reload. It gives tenz the prime opportunity to just pre-aim onto the angle.
EDG don't choose the aggressive option though. They're keeping players anchored to C to try to make up for that fact.
Nobody has the rifle. Nobody has the rifle, but as he's looking for that information, I mean, that's what happens when a drone is used a little bit prior. Didn't have it to try and safely garner it. At least there's going to be relay bolts as well, and space given. Yeah.
This is ridiculously good from Sen. That lurk timing from Zelsis is marvelous.
Wait
but
a
it doesn't
second.
matter.
Yeah, and Smoggy's right back in there. The paranoia is already sent out. That's preemptive. Outlaw in the hands of 140. Zekken down to the double digits, but still alive for now. Glides to the side, and he is a spearhead. Like, literally in this case, man. Cracks open the C site, despite the resistance that EDG were trying to put up.
30 seconds.
Yeah, well, the stun at least does connect. It doesn't let the ult go. Aftershock is a little bit delayed there. Lighting up onto second, but still the plan is down. Hunter's Fury trying to layer this one down along with the Rolling Thunder. Cacophony of ultimates. And it is coming up to fruition. gen.g there holding onto the corner. Simon with a reposition, and there's a count for it. gen.g dropped down, just can't reset the aim in time. 2v2. A tap. neupep reveals it. Fights to be taken down to that 1v1. And Chichu now going to be getting that information. Sassy is revealed with the shots fired off as well. Jump spot, pulls him off. No half in sight for Chichu. He's tapping away as well, praying for those stray shots to hit. Sassy might need to swing this one. Chichu unable to survive. Chichu has found himself and carved out a little bit of a pocket and space to play around. Paranoia still here, but the aftershock is way too much. Just singeing his feet. Chichu just couldn't stand still amongst most of that fire. Second offloading it with the overdrive. Peppering them, some stray shots. EDG are going to need a pick to see if they can make this one doable. Zekken overextending ever so slightly, but still he's good for the kill as well. They're tracking! They just can't get a handle or any sort of control on him. It's precise. Kang almost there. Could have provided a chance, an opportunity, but Smoggy's been left alone into the 1v3, and tenz picks back up that position. Low enough as well, but again, at work. Paranoia's used to clear most of the way alongside the dart. As many waves of the util. Zelsis with the plant. We'll get his ult online from this one. Everybody grouped up from EDG, setting themselves up to try and play for the retake, but it's preemptive. Sen using this to try and strike. Chichu's there. Offset though, nobody covering it. An overextension by Sentinels. Now it's up to these remaining players if they can pick up the pieces, but the stun is immaculate, and the spray down from Zelsis. Only the Wonder is troubled. Retaking over towards A lobby. Dart's going to be used side by side though, shoulder to shoulder. These players unaware that they've crossed up. And Smoggy now isolated. He's on an island through the back of the site. The util once more. It is impeccable. Trying to dodge and weave around from this play. Chichu and Simon now. It's a quick flood attempt in through the back. Picking up these rifles in their hands. These for the upgrades. Hunter's Fury scatters through. Fights to be taken by EDG. That could be set up for success on most of it. Sprayed down. And with the Hunter's Fury dropping gen.g. The pistol round and a few stray gun rounds. What a shot! Kang. Flexing his muscles. Zekken. My God, yeah, tenz is as well, but they don't realize and anticipate. Okay, Chichu is going to get dropped here right through the smoke. CDG trying to attempt to flood their way through neupep. reveals all, and tenz will make full usage of it. Paranoia, connection, movement from Kangkang is the only surviving element. And praying for a shot to connect there to make it just a little bit more winnable, but for Sentinels, primed and ready for that 8th round. Just a shorty to work with. There are so many angles as well. Gotta be worrying about the high ground where tenz have been perched up. As a double hold out through the back, the cam tagging him. You have to play into this round as a last chance in the half. But it's futile. He's been given nothing. Toyed with darts. He's having to deal with it all. It's all being dished out. One last hurrah by Sen. And that time, fully against him. A bit of a flourish, but still 8-4. Sen. Got it primed. So it's going to be used, an eye for an eye here with a utils. Kangkang! He's right there, still surviving, still kicking, and he wants to take even more away from them. 2 removed before the trade is intact, but Zekken still here alive, worried about this flanking play, but the adjustment is there, at least with the micro aim. Drops Chichu. He's still the thorn in their sides. The paranoia sweeping through. Zekken plays his life. Sassy opens himself up in through heaven. There's chances here and accounted for. Nobody's seeing it. The trade though, nobody. Great adjustment. And they're aware that Zekken was playing down towards here. There was not enough distraction to give him an in. Win cons are narrow at that. Simon off angle. Just can't drop in. One bullet will do it. Zekken somehow still alive in the midst of all of this. One's about to hard. Still the movement.
And it turns out that's the right call because most of Sen are back.
Time's going to start ticking here. Again, advantage should still be for EDG. Got the guns, tenz, okay. That's ridiculous. Zekken's been played in as well. All the crosshair placement being slipped up and around here. Kangkang is worried about these swings. No way, Sentinels can't be getting away with this. Off onto the flank, they double up players as well. Smoke once more, the dart has to be broken. Nobody's sticking this one. Sassy finally under the fuse, but everybody dropped. Simon's tucked, only the shoulder. Smoggy's there to supplement as well. Help him. Ow, what is that movement? Zekken just counters it. Simon, it's an absolute worldie with that shot right there. And the reload bullet sprayed down to the bitter end. Simon quick to capitalize.
Incredible shooting to get EDG back into things there. tenz is going to of these rotates.
Footsteps.
He might be able to cut somebody off as well. Nobody was thinking about going through the garage. That would have been a death sentence. tenz is right here behind them, though. If EDG pause for a moment, he's going to have the backstab.
Yep. That smoke at C is going to be fading. They are not going to anticipate this. He is so quick right there behind them.
He needs his own smoke to fade.
And it will be dissipating. Opens him up, Simon! He's still there, though. This guy's been a savior for EDG in so many moments. The util just narrowly avoided. He's to the fault line. gen.g still here. But enough has been done surely for EDG, and they know it. Doubled up high-low. Simon taking that point. 4-piece in the end.
They've also seen Simon's ripping it on the fake.
He's going for a fake here, just very much alone, just trying to cut that noise. The Hunter's Fury as well to try and sell this one. Players trying to be pulled back. Sassy, though, he realizes it. There's no follow-up off the back of it. Doesn't hear any footsteps, so Sentinels just contain that. Bring it down into the 4v4, slow it all the way down, realizing that they've lost control, but so is Kangkang. Losing track of where these players could potentially be. gen.g puts him in his place and spraying him down through the cage. All revealed with the neural theft. It's gone tipsy-turvy. EDG. Well, should have been a great opener. They've overthunk, I think, into the round itself. Teacher's low, great movement. Slightly ajar, just making it so damn uncomfortable for these EDG players to stand their ground. No one deals with that dart. The bolt and the stun just not quite connecting. Still, they want to square him, Simon! God, he's a miracle worker. Survives barely a shred of health. As low as you can go. Cut noise now, go for the rest of the hit, but he has opened his sight up now. In and away, gen.g praying in through the smoke as well. The slightest of reveals and the bullets just not quite landing onto Kangkang, but potentially done enough here. Played Sassy in through, onto the flank, right through the wall. Lands it to the dome. Kangkang's being dropped now. 3 versus 3. Sentinels still make a go of things here. EDG trying to make that play. Good trade by tenz once more, but the smoke dropped down. Now with a paranoia, all added on top. Leaving it just down to tenz, and he's doing damage right through the wall. Isolates the 1-4 bullet! Oh boy! Util out as well. Fake the presence. Zekken! What? The cage helps him! How's he getting away? That's ridiculous! Glides himself back as well. And back and forth we go. It's EDG scrambling for a chance to get back into this. Zekken is still alive. Overdrive. in his hands, and he wants more. Never bite of the apple. But discipline is called for in moments like this, and they tempered around down at that minute mark. Celsius, flash, re-exploration, re-clearing, double held though, and that is Sentinels getting ahead of themselves.
It is good information, however, for Sassy to start pushing out. Could he be the playmaker here?
Odin.
EDG are quite trapped. They don't quite know where everybody is. In fact, they don't know where anybody is.
Full map control lost. Sassy! Smoggy! He's watching for that peek. The slow walk around the corner.
Finally comes alive in this map.
30 seconds left.
It's down to Celsius, 1v3 spam. Threw into the smoke. Planned down from Simon, but the smoke was watched the entire time. And Smoggy's Sentinels are ready to meet them. See if the weaponry does make that difference here with the stuns. Util offloaded into the corner. Kang just can't really hold it down with a steady ground, but still, as the smokes fade away, overdrive! Kang! It's galvanizing. An electric performance from him, still adjusting tenz. Difficult shot for him to hit. Sheriff in hand, 4-piece. Hunting down the remaining player, John QT, quaking in his boots! But he will not give up that ace. Let it rip in through the back. But it's so easy to overextend if you're the attackers. That's broken. That's the trigger. They want to try and go for this one. Smokes in their face. Aftershock as well. Rifles in play at works. Fault line. And get Sentinels back into the fight and back into the fray. Cut them up. Paranoia is perfect. Players are there. Sliding, gliding forwards. Chichu is dropped to his knees. And for EDG has to watch in dismay.
EDG, and we're going to get a clash on Mound.
But here's a hard read as the season up and over.
Wow.
And yeah, paint shells.
No, I think they got the read on this.
Exactly. Splitting them to pieces.
You couldn't get a better indication of that. Presumably, they would have held it if the fault line had not come through, and they were actually aiming for Simon in that spot. But they may have just let it go anyway. Hard antied them.
The preparation is clear right now for Sentinels.
As it was the last time they played on Lotus, they hard read what gen.g were bringing out. Are they going to expect this contact play, though? Up into A. John getting pressured a little bit here, but there's always the pivot through that blue room. That's where they're going. End on B.
Smoggy earned himself a lot of space for the rest of his team, and yet that is an open avenue as a flash and a peek from Smoggy, but nobody from Sentinels overstepping themselves. In fact, it's Smoggy who's worse for the wear. Might be calling for another refight. They are grouped up. I believe that's 3 players of EDG looking for the fight. They don't think Zekken is here. Cuts it up close. Boombot in his hands, lets it loose. Will take that contact in through the smoke. And the fight has to be taken. Risks in order for EDG to bail themselves out of this spot. But they just cannot hold a candle. Seemingly aware of it, though. He just catches that contact and he makes the call that they are playing up towards heaven. The question is, does Sen have anything to deal with it? Bullets flying forwards. Luck of the draw was what they were hoping for. Simon doesn't need luck on his side. Flex the muscles, flex the mechanics. And with that, Sen, the round is dusted for them.
What a spot to put your breach in.
Yeah.
Smoggy getting on the board early up as well.
Clearing most of this. Sentinels players, though, they're lying in wait, and the paranoia triggers the play. Still, Chichu still there! And this guy is ready to punish them for the hubris, thinking that they could take that fight open and out. Sassy going for that repeak. The trade not in sight. Players not ready to account for that one. Sassy's still here, man. Dropping himself back. Under 12 HP, but with 2 kills. Earned under the round and under his belt. There's an opening now for Sentinels in the round.
Champs form Sassy is a dangerous beast. This is not guaranteed at all for nobody in Smoggy.
Going through the back of the side, you can tell that there's still levels of unknown. Even the C's just use preemptively
absolutely.
in case that somebody was in that smoke.
They're worried about hard anchors. They're thinking that John could be in that spot. Sen have actually doubled up here. It looks like it could well catch EDG off guard.
Half advantage though for EDG. And Sentinels themselves splitting up. Watch for live from John. Couple of different avenues, but not pushed together. John, where have you pulled that one from? The brink seemingly, it leaves it all down to Smoggy. Time will start to tick onto this one here, and he's isolating his voice line and his players up yet, John. Earlier, At least not even getting the kill. Damage done. Nobody's still surviving. Here's the rolling thunder, but they've crossed it up onto the corner. And tenz and Sassy will punish them for stepping past that.
What a read from Sen that was going B early on. Fake rubble fight, and they've read the pivot over towards C here as well. They are not worried about a repop into B whatsoever. Taking spawn, waterfall, ready to fight these guys, deny the plant before it even comes through.
Hardest read.
John's so far ahead of the game.
Just following the sound cues as well, Simon. Sticking with the plant, he doesn't even get that. Bullets precisely lay it down exactly where they were needed, and Chichu's just praying, hoping that he doesn't receive the same fate. Spike planted, but it's not in a great spot here, and with the paranoia sweeping his way through, it's down to instinct and timing. Chichu still traded off, only with the one. Smoggy smoked off and away in a crossfire through in the smoke already. TP crossed up under the corner. Kang punish from the Odin spam. Directed him exactly to where Zelsis was going to be playing from, and the smokes are renewed in the face of Sentinels. This is a different look for EDG, but still finding it difficult to even get this plant down. Nobody with the plan. Nightfall now. Going to be used and expended. Sentinels trying to use this to get themselves in. And gen.g scatters their ashes to the wind. Chichu will have to hold it down. Out through the back move with all sound cut away. Not long for this world. Smoggy left. Isolating. Heads are popping. Sassy sticking onto the half. The util is good. Best chance in a long while. They've got to deal with Sassy. Not dead yet. Sassy sticking, but the swing coming through. Angle, but he's going to be retreating now. Throw into the back of the side. EDG, they want to go rapid. Increase of the tempo. Overdrive as well. That's put in a squeeze, and tenz tested in that moment. Can't offset EDG. Overwhelming him as the smokes dissipate too. gen.g is fully unaware. Nades ricocheting, but it matters not. Smoggy right there when you least expect him.
And EDG do have it in them. What a beautiful change of tempo. Just when it looks like they're down and out, they put together two very nice rounds.
To remove a few lives. Peek from Sassy. Haunt as well, doesn't get broken. And it's flanks on flanks. The timing's round and round we go. Simon reveals it. It's a phone line. He's trying to play his team back in, but from that angle, gen.g is none the wiser.
He thought it was coming from sight.
Still a 2v2. Not planned to really for them well. Not at the baby door. Sassy's holding. Damage done to Zelsis. It's precarious. He feels like he can't really make the tap happen. Contact. High-low. EDG. Waiting to strike that time pressure. Sentinels, you're running out of win cons. You've got to stick this at some point. Circle's got to be shrinking at some point here. Locking it down onto the corner and half not earned. It's EDG. Bringing it back. Going to be another level to this one. There was a Paranoia and a Prowler used by EDG. Rolling Thunder is earned, and Simon has it primed and ready. Up and over the top. A lot of angles to account for. That is composure from Kang, and he wants to take it one step further still. Defended. Up and over the shoulder. The IGL will put Kang to bed.
EDG, though, have taken so much space. Send group up, re-clear through spawn. tenz the backstab through waterfall as well.
Unorthodox with the angle, nobody! It is aim train to the skies. Yep, that haunt, it still gets the value and still gets the damage done. Chichu can't land it with a spray, but eventually there. Stun still connecting, Sassy now sticking, defended, up and around, and Simon's left to do it all from that spot. It's just not possible.
People in mound or B, depending on where Sen take contact first.
Pings, yep, they saw John before he was even aware of the process.
Right there.
Block him out of the picture, taking him out with a head. And Paranoia is beautiful, blinding up into this spot. Smoggy is putting the squeeze on alongside Chichu.
I love that read. Smoggy and Chichu there, ready to backstab the people trying to punish mound. EDG, their macro game has been remarkably good these last 5 or so rounds.
Then trying to go for round 2. While this is going on, though, it's EDG that somehow been flipped up against him. With Chichu being dropped, Smoggy now has to contain and contest alongside the flank. Never go around with the door rotating. It's random sprays and rifles. Well trained. EDG, they know what it takes to get the round done, finished, clocked up, and sealed up with every single kill. Sassy scurrying to save the weapon into the next. This is EDG. Lockdown. It's never to really clear this one. You have to take this one fighting straight up. Brute force on display. Blinded up though, and the util is overwhelming. Sheer cacophony of it. Nothing to clear it. Respect has to be shown. EDG now have to back away. Cut away with the sound cues. They don't even know if anybody's onto this one, but just peering up and over, spamming away, still earning their way into a round win. EDG and Kang ahead of the curve, unaccounted for. Kang maybe spotted. Yes, indeed. The season need it. Rebounds as well, but there's nowhere to run, nowhere to hide out against it. Util combo. Unfortunate. Kangang's going to be dropped, and that first kill handed over to Sen, but there's still chances for EDG. They're doubled up. It's a high-low waiting for the bodies to come flying forwards here. Playing up the sound cue. Stun was good, and stopping them in their tracks. Sentinels cannot cross that line, and the barrier just not there for them. Zelsis time against him. And it's of the essence. It needs to be that defense. 4 seconds left. They got to stick this one. It needs to be covered. Chichu. He wins the day. gen.g was not there in time. And Sentinels' options are running dry.
They're going to have to go towards B. You can see the pings on the minimap. They're going to make it look like they're re-clearing onto rubble.
And trying to push his players back. What is that from nobody? Close quarters. It's where he thrives. Stinger in hand. A buy round for Sen. Full investment with the rifle. Simon, he's ahead of most of that util, but maybe just giving Sentinels a win con and into the round.
Very similar to the prior round here. A 3v4, Sen at a disadvantage. Can they try to make something happen in post plants? EDG need to play tight together. Chishu, nobody doubling up.
It's all split up by Sen as well. Everybody's just willing to take their own fights here. The rifle out open. What an adjustment. Nobody snaps to the sides. Dismisses John as easily as that. Sassy, his turn to step up, but a movement at charge just makes it so damn awkward. tenz up and ready. Smoke in his face, 60 HP. Not just a tap, it's a full stick as well from Kangan with a smoke as well. The play around comes down to that RNG. And the shots and bullets just not landing for him.
EDG leaving A utterly open.
Gone for a fight though, Zelsis. He's been caught by this. The stun is perfect. Kangan is right there, up onto it. Paranoia slightly misses. Ultra expended, ultra committed. And EDG, you put everything into this. But they topple, they fall, crumbled from the util in a hold of Sentinels. It's discipline that reins them in.
EDG, after the TAC timeout, have tried to change their defensive setups. Anything that they've gone for that was different to what they opened with has failed. And this is nice pressure. It's just keeping Simon anchored to the A site. Does it pull Smoggy away? No, he's going to read this.
Still at that angle. It's a brutal one to take. Crosshair placement, there's many angles he could be peeked from, but Smoggy feeling like he has to take it at that point.
And I think Sen will be super happy about this result. A 4v1 that Simon is not going to find winnable, and Sen still have huge ults to work with. And as you pointed out earlier, Simon, he ripped that one off. John being disconnected on the lurk was critical in terms of how they lost the pistol round.
Fault line used here. Simon's position, they're going to know this is online. Lockdown has to be defended as well. Stuns, Ricochet in second. Couldn't hold a candle to it. Kankai's there, spraying, spamming, praying that they can do it. But they can't break the lockdown in time. Respect has to be shown. Time starting to tick. Simon, it was to increase the heat. The tempo there for it, just making sure he's the distraction already, but the circle shrinks. Time escapes EDG into that spot. All goes wrong with no way to clear that lockdown.
Hey, as Sen get into sight, they got the pace to do it.
Yeah, most of it's going to be fading as well. Chichu does have that open access. Door's going to be broken down. Kang, he's already ripped this one away, but it's traded. In kind. tenz is there. Satchel play, beautiful. Tracking. Chichu's there, aware of the fact that there could be that second player, and drops tenz out of action. 18 seconds left. TP forwards, that is crazy stuff by Chichu, but honestly, the pressure, it's all on Sassy. Reload committed, side by side. Needs to play this one in for the rest of his team. Accounted for, but time against him. It's only 4 seconds left, and at this point, it's against them. They realize it. EDG backing away. Nobody just has to survive, and it's a round win. Right there for EDG.
But Sen also know there's no paranoia, no fault line, none of that business to stop them getting into the C site.
It's down to Smoggy. He's holding it down towards the back. Beaming him down. Still got the ult as well. It's not dead yet. Nobody up and over the top punish onto tenz. Nana swarms, shredding them to pieces onto the back of the side here, but as the smokes dissipate, Smoggy is alive and ready to deny the entirety of the round. And Sassy once more, time drifting away. It's a 12th round now for EDG. Kang, almost there, the crosshair placement wasn't, but still he snaps it back. Well aligned, accounting for everybody.
Spike down A.
And Sen just cannot hold against it. Showstopper now used as desperation. Following the traces, Zekken takes the gamble. But all that play, all that work, it's an ult expended to no avail. Zelsis dropped. The options are withering away. For EDG. They can feel it, they know it. Sunset is ready and waiting. It's primed for them here. Nightfall scatters, tenz is low, no more sound cues to work off of. Haunt lights him up. The TP to adjust, but again, he's no long for the world. Second, last one left. And he cannot dodge this util. EDG are ready to swarm, ready to collect. It'll take a miracle to stop it at this point. They are not ready to let it happen. EDG will not be denied a chance for greatness. Up through the gut, EDG paving the way over towards the A site. gen.g is going to be a lot asked of him. Smoggy is way ahead of the rest of most of his team, in fact, through the cage, almost claiming a second. But eventually put him down and out. Sitting back to the spectator seat. It's an open A site now for the plant. Simon commits to this one, but 4 players alive as Sentinels are grouped up with that pack mentality. Emphasis being placed now on Chichu. Second is low enough, he takes our first point, and precision is just unreal. Zelsis barely keep it all together. Dropped down to 48 health. A dart, a flash, all expended into his face, but the job is done. Chiju's done enough, time taken away. The nade at the feet, isolating the fights away. It's getting tested, it's getting stretched, and nobody takes precisely the right moment.
And we're playing on this map. They were playing very passive holds on the B site.
Oh, the counting for John.
That's nasty.
Barely peeking out from the pillar, nobody will punish. Born in through the back though, that is a response by second. He's want to put some more damage. And herd into these EDG players still out through mid. G2 attempting to pluck some of these players out of the picture. tenz still holding. And the rifle aim is dead. Not enough to escape though. Ghost. The supplement of the fire by Smoggy does manage to trade that one out. Nade, it's out, but it does miss. Off to the side, Sassy sticking. Anything else to push this one back needs to be defended. Second, he can't really let this one loose. Still is half already onto the board. And the mid flanks and the fight from main. Damage is done. Value gain potentially a round win at that fight. Forced out, second with a tap, but he is traded in the end. Nobody. Resilience is showcased. EDG willing to take a step back here, but Kang might be regretting that one. Offset here, overdrive is available. Flash through into the back. That's Simon looking to hold his own ground against this. Smoke dominated, nobody's still trying to command that position. But he falls, Simon will have to retreat now. His back's against the wall, Smoggy defending at least a portion of it. Aftershock into the corner. Tenuous here for EDG, but they still have those rifles. It's going to be a big advantage working potentially for them. Picked up with the upgrades. gen.g fires straight back at them. And the bait and switch leaping into the fight. Be able to play this one. And Sen don't have a lot of time to work with. Kill trips. Chewing up these players. Rooted into spot from Sentinels. They've got to find a way to navigate it. Sassy defusing. Sticking. Reveal up. Hunter's Fury. Sassy! My God! It's down to the wire. Down to the brink. Half earned. But Zelsis is the last chance for him! The gang!
The rest of his team wasn't willing.
Once more, Senna going to be tested. This time, we're trying to hold on for these retakes as well. Nobody. The first point of contact. Moves the one the trade online out of Nightfall. Scatters his way through, in through the main angle. Noise. Cut away. Zekin with the defuse, but he's pushed back from some form of the util. Overdrive popped off. Kang! Goodness me! Tears them to pieces, TP up and over. tenz that is precise, and he's got to be keen, surgical, whipping his way through and behind. He's going to try and defend this one. gen.g brought down, but a half earned. There's a chance and a potential. G2 dodging, sidestepping. Most of the util gives up access to the site, but as long as he hold on to elbow control, and he can't even do that. G2 comes around the corner like an absolute Ferrari. Zelsis will punch it right back. Kang. Flatlined and dropped. 3 versus 3 is where we stand. The pressure now on to Sen for this retake, all grouped up. Cam broken. Nobody noted. Smoke in their faces, spamming, spraying away, trying to pave the way to success for Sentinels. They need RNG on their side. Only the one, and they're just getting collected, corralled into the corner.
Looking up.
I'm spotting it. Fault line slowing them down here. It's a refight called Sentinels. They want to get straight into the fight. Clash called for, and one out. Kang might have something to say about it. Brings it to the 2 versus 3. Spike still Drop down to the bottom section. The squeeze of Sen, they have full control over towards mid. Will take heroics, and with the damage done, weakened up, cannot stand against most of it. Nobody. Trying to play bait and switch as well, taking that fight. Backstep in, hoping he can isolate at least one of them, but the crossfire setup should be intact. Foolproof from Sentinels at this point as well. Baits that peak. Seeing if he can spot these players out. Finally, Zekken.
Trying to make it feel like they're in mid and bait out this re-clear from Sen.
And they're just holding for the peak. What util did they even have as well? Contact cord as well. Phone line is late. Celsius. Util doesn't help him. It's EDG with the initiative in that fight. And with it, you can sit down and stare at it, but it's a 5 versus 2 scenario. Sentinels have no real chance back into this round.
Their economy is not in a terrible spot. If tenz and John were any closer to the action, they might give it a try. But EDG have outplayed them again. The story of this half early on was Sen giving away too many opportunities, but now that they're playing a little bit of a better game, EDG are just pulling it back out of their grasp. The call in there from nobody is so strong. Faking like they're doing the same stuff. Throwing that same market util. And John, he is not holding on to this weapon. He's got players behind and in front. More aggressive defensive B.
Oh, trying to send it. As soon as Simon uses his ult, that's the trigger to try and slow them down, but there will be no follow-up. And Chichu, my God! This guy, he won't be denied. Playing in through Kang. He's hungry for more. There's blood in the water sense, but punishment in sight. Assassin will drop him eventually. Down to his knees, but it's still EDG in control. Backside players, B main still theirs. We've seen Sen perform miracles, but this, just a little too unlikely. When EDG are setting up pop players like this, contesting, squeezing Sen for absolutely every inch of space, there is no chance in hell for them here. The Sentinels being pushed back immediately. Signs of resistance, EDG are holding this one. Plenty of players now try and take this contact and take these fights. Names stricken off the record with nobody leading it for his team. And they want even more. Not content with just laying claim to just a few. tenz. Drop down, pistol round for EDG. His own cross here. Does give up access over towards B, so full side control plan going down and through the back of the sides. Oh my! Chichu, the util, just augments the hold and puts the squeeze on the Sentinels team. But listen, they've been battered and bruised before, but not quite like this. They have to barrel their own way past it, but with subpar weaponry and one left alive. Zekken, miracle to ask for. Picks up the weapon, but not long again for the world in the round. At 12th. Outlaw in the hands of Kang. Slowed all the way down, and Zekken's desperate for the kill. Does hunt it down, but EDG are going to be hot on the heels of all these players. The 4-player flank. Ready and waiting to pounce on any of these players. Zelters with just the one before he's dropped, but info given up over to them. tenz now with that task. Challenge ahead of him. Players ready to fall here. G2 responds, returns with a fire. There's pressure applied onto these EG anchoring players and still trying to take the fight up through the gut. Different directions here, still beaming them down. Simon dropped to his knees, maybe handed them over that weaponry in all tenz. Collecting the kills off through the flank, overdrive. Finds his mark. The tracking is immense. So Sentinels will be able to stay alive a little bit longer.
And the pathing is great. Sen's attack side is fantastic on Sunset. There's no denying that.
Util used too, but it's Paranoia immediately going forward. Chichu, this is his area, this is his domain. But he is cleaned up nevertheless. Chopped up into pieces and spitting them all the way out. Nobody seeking to plug those gaps. Will go down as a result of it. 4 players still left to stand here by Sen, but chances for EDG still. Flash is good, crossing back in through main. EDG not able to catch any of them. This is the crosshair placement, but they are rapidly now getting themselves into position. Onto the site, stun is excellent. Flash though, peek immediately there. Gonna be traded, out and over, spraying them down with the rifles. heroics and a bit of luck at play. EDG are hoping for it. Through the box now, Simon and Smoggy. More pressure, and this is a trap play if I've ever seen one. Paranoia sweeps, stun alongside it, rattling with the sheriff in hand, chewing up the Sentinels players. Not many options are available to you, and Celtis, he didn't have a clue. Blinded up, Spike dropped down into the laps of EDG. This is exactly what we were talking about. There is no room to breathe when there's up to 12 rounds. EDG can feel it. Spike picked back up, earned itself. Sassy, a lot to adjust and overcome. tenz is down and out. EDG, they end it all. They take it over that line.